Before we get to linking, let's go ahead and go into our pages. We haven't looked at our image page in a while. We've got everything else kind of going the way we want, but we did that one up front, didn't we? It's one of the first things we did. So I'm going to open up images one right down here. And I'm thinking, I like the way the images are placed. We've got lighthouses of the world at the top. We have no navigation. The background doesn't look the way I want it to. I don't think I can even fix this one. But think of it this way. We wanted to try to put something together. Let's just cut our losses and make a new image page and then make it into a template so we can use it over and over again. So let's do this. Let's leave it open. Let's go up to the word File on the pull-down menu and go down to New, Lighthouse Text. We want that template, but we're going to modify it. Let me show you how you do this. Pretty cool. Go into Create. Now, the first thing we need to do is get rid of it as a template and start working on it from scratch. I want this, but I don't want it as a template. I'm going to go up to the word Modify in the pull-down menu, go down to Templates, and select Detach right here. What do we have now? Well, we have a page as if we designed it from scratch. It's kind of what I want. Let's start by coming up here. I'm going to take off the word name, and let's just say lighthouses, because that's what it's going to be. We don't need the text here, so let's go ahead and get rid of that, just like that. Now, if we go into CSS Designer panel, we have our main CSS, and we have main CSS2. The only purpose of main CSS2 is to change that color in the background. We might or might not keep that. We're not going to worry about that right now. What I need to do is figure out how to get in here the 3 containers that we use to put the images in. But I don't want to change the main CSS because that would impact everything. So I'll tell you what, this is actually pretty easy, but it takes a little bit of thought as you work through the process. What I want to do is make sure that I have main CSS2 selected. Now I'm going to come over here and click in this box. Come over here to where it says selectors, click the plus sign. Main content, main text box. In other words, I want another rule in the secondary main CSS2 to override the first one, so I have the best of both worlds here. So we don't need to do anything with this yet, but that's where it is. Come back over here again and click. Go into our insert panel, go into this area right here and create an article. Not at the insertion point. We want it at the start of the tag inside the box we've clicked in. And that tag is main text box. Let's call this, and I think this is the same name we used on the other original images page, image placeholder. Go ahead and click OK. Now let's work smart here. We need 2 more of these, don't we? So let's go ahead and go into split view. I'm going to select it all. Edit, copy, or use the shortcut, which is faster. Command on a Mac, Control on Windows, and the letter C for copy. I'm going to create a new line by hitting the return key and do a paste, either edit paste or the command or control key in the letter V. I'm going to press return again. That's the enter key on a Mac. And I'm going to do the same thing and make 1 more. I like it. Let's go back to design. And there they are. Now we're doing something over again that we did on the original images one. And we talked about that. And we changed it so that it worked like this. Let's go back here again. Let's go back into CSS Designer. Make sure you have one of these selected. It doesn't matter which one. Just click to the right of it. Make sure you are in CSS2. That's very important. Let's go ahead and click the plus sign right here, and it will say main content, main text box, image placeholder, exactly what I want. So we're going to come down here, click on it again, and we select it. In our layout, these boxes need to be a width of 220 pixels and a height of 400, if I'm not mistaken. That's the size of our images. So in width, go ahead, double click. Type in 220. All right. And in height, 400. Now you can see that it is beginning to work, but we have the same problem we had earlier. We don't want them on top of each other, and that's floating. Remember, floating. So let's do this. Let me go ahead and scroll down a little bit here until we finally get into the area called float. I don't want you to put them on top of each other, but the default is one container goes on top of another. I want you to float them to the left. So we're going to click right here and float. Now notice our footer. Now I said a couple of chapters ago I would readdress this problem. The problem is the footer is floating against the last text box. I don't want it to do that on any of our pages. So here's a trick. Go into the main CSS because I want this to impact everything. Go down to footer, main footer, If we scroll down here and get into the floating area, we also have clear. Clear to the left, watch what happens. This is exactly what I want it to do. Now let's go back to CSS2. Our other problem is this box is defined as 300 and it needs to be bigger than that. But let's not do that yet. Let's get this part fixed here. Now if we go into image placeholder and we come down here until we get into margin, right down here. This is a different margin than we used before. In the original images one, we used a 35 margin, mainly because of the fact that we used the entire 800 pixels. But notice we have an inset on the left and the right. So I did a new calculation. We need a margin of 22. So I'm going to come here, type in 22, and let me pull that down. You can see it. Over here, 22, and down here, 22. You can see we now have all our padding. Let's get back to this problem. If I change that in the main CSS, it will change all the boxes, ruin everything. In main CSS2, we do have main text box right here. Select it. Now what we want here is a height of what? The images are 400. There are 22 pixels padding at the bottom and 22 at the top. So my math says 444 height. And go ahead and check that out. Perfect. I love it. Now we don't need the text. So let's go ahead and get rid of that. We will, in a real site, have many more than just one of these pages. So if you don't save this as a template, you're missing the point. So let's go up to the word file on the pull-down menu and go down to Save as Template. Now here's the one we already have. So let's name this one Lighthouse Images. Just like that. Click Save. What do we need to do? We need editable regions or it won't work. So click in this one, then right-click, go into Templates, New Editable Region, Image 1. Click OK. In here, right-click, New Editable Region, Image 2. You get the idea. One more. We are working smart. And you will when you're designing a site. Every once in a while, especially when you first start out, think you got a handle on it, and you realize, nah, that's not the way I want it to be, and sometimes you have to redo it. That's just part of life. Click OK. Let's go ahead and close it. Definitely save it. Now, we definitely also want to save the CSS because we changed it, and the CSS2 because we changed it. All right. This one, we don't need. Go ahead and close it. Let's go back up to the word file, New, from Template, Lighthouse Images, Create. We don't need the text. Let's go ahead and just get rid of that. Let's go into Assets so we can see the images. Go to this option right here. There's Bodie Island. Drag it in. There is Fastnet, not two, just one. This one right here. Drag it in. And the third one was Happisburg right here. There you go. We now have a good template for the lighthouses. Anytime we want it, we bring it out. We've got it. So I'll tell you what. Let's go up to the word File on the pull-down menu and go down to Save. And let's call this one, assuming we're going to have more than one page. I do want that in Pages. I'm going to click Save, and we're going to move on.